Amazing Ameziane is at it again, this time delivering a graphic novel biography on Sergio Leone. The book is presented in the first person as if Leone himself is talking us through his life in a fast-paced conversational tone. The voice is personal, it's intimate, it speaks in the language of film without thinking that it's more clever than it is or giving too many industry terms or winks to the audience. The writing comes across as effortless, which ironically takes a tremendous effort to pull off. The book does not dissect every individual movie, performance, and choice that Leone has made as director, but it does give us a large overview of an influential career that uses the artistic medium of graphic novels to carry the story. In a move that I did not see coming, but absolutely loved, was Sergio Leone's story does not even start with Sergio himself. It starts with Roberto Roberti, Leone's father. I'm just a couple pages into the book and a bomb is dropped that Roberti stood up to Mussolini. That hooked me right there. I needed to know more about this guy's incredibly interesting life if it starts with his father defying Mussolini. In the book, we spend some time with a young Leone trying to find his path, though I feel like it was clear that his intent for his life was established early on. I found the first half leading up to the spaghetti westerns really inspirational. Leone would do whatever he could, however he could do it, to keep making movies and work his way to that top job that he was looking for. He would agree to projects that others didn't want to touch because of logistical nightmares or issues working with different language-speaking crews. He would take on jobs and say he could do them even though he didn't quite know how to do them, but he had an idea of how he could start tackling it. Those kind of things are very inspirational because he's not waiting around for someone to knock on his door and give him what he wants. So once we get into the spaghetti western era, an era so influential in film that it has its own unique name, the book shifts gears. The look and feel of everything transforms without feeling out of place. The panels change in color to match the Western motif. A lot of time is spent here relative to other areas in his career, which makes sense because this is what made Leone a household name. Throughout the book, there are cameo appearances from other directors, some of which Ameziane has covered in other books, which starts to make his series feel just like that, a series. When I read Quentin by Tarantino, the first of these that I experienced, it was a novel idea. Taking it this far and adding in other directors now makes the whole endeavor cohesive, and it feels like we're revisiting familiar characters since these are versions of the directors through Ameziane's lens. The Easter eggs, references, and nods are not just to Leone's own work, but to cinema as a whole, making this widespread for movie lovers, not just fans of this particular director. I do have one small complaint with the print version of the book that I need to mention. There are some widescreen panels, which are awesome. It's great to use the language of cinema in this form, and it's a great idea, but in the print version, the spine of the book cuts them in half. I'm sure on digital these look amazing, the artwork is great, and I just wish that the print version they rotated the book 90 degrees and went across a page. It would be so worth having to physically turn the book to look at them rather than have them be cut in half to get the full experience of what was meant. The pacing on the book is very fast. It's more in the style of Don Coppola than the more text-heavy Martin Scorsese project. I do believe that this Leone book is the shortest of Ameziane's in the series, but in no way does it feel like it's lacking. It's loaded with information and no space is wasted. I don't think that Ameziane is cutting anything to get his book shorter. I think it's actually that he's getting better at what he's doing with them. He's more efficient with space and pacing. There's no fat left to trim. It's a lean and fun read that won't bog you down in the slightest. I talked a little bit about him taking on jobs other people didn't want or jobs that were seemingly too difficult in ways to make his own luck and get the job he wanted. I want to add on to that a little bit. He took on work that was not technically his responsibility, maybe doing work that the director should have been doing or other departments should have been doing, but he did it to not only deliver a great movie, but to show that his ambitions on wanting to get that top job were not insane. His success was not based on nepotism or any kind of luck. He created his own luck, as I've said, by being prepared to take on these opportunities when they came, and did not worry about getting home after an 8-hour day or punching a clock or let things fall to the side because they didn't fit neatly under his job title. These are messages that we can all take into our lives. I mean, some of us have jobs that going above and beyond really won't get you anything, but if you have these ambitions and these goals, look at someone like Leone to see what's possible if you just go for it. If I could change one thing about the book, and I guess it would be two since I already recommended some changes on how the widescreen panels could have been done, I would have liked to have spent more time in some of the lesser-known parts of his career, at least lesser known to me, namely the era of epics that he worked in just before moving on to the spaghetti westerns. He's so well known for those spaghetti westerns, of course, but those old Hollywood epics are such statement pieces about the time they were made. We can't pull that kind of thing off now. It's all just big CG battles, and a movie like, say, Dune does feel epic, but not in the same way of all the extras and the costumes and the elaborate set pieces and the scale of everything done practically. Taking on these incredibly difficult projects helped him grow as a director and put him in a place to redefine the genre of Westerns or create the subgenre of the spaghetti Western. This isn't so much a critique. What we do get in the book is phenomenal. It's just a wish that I had a bit more time looking at those epics, since it is such a unique thing and a unique time in Hollywood history. I read this whole book in under a week. Yeah, some of that was to get this review done and out to you, but it was mostly because I actually genuinely loved it. Now I want to rewatch some of these iconic spaghetti Westerns and even get back to the old epics that I was just talking about, because I didn't realize he was so influential in making some that I remember loving. Sergio Leone, The Revolution of the Western, is another excellent entry into Ameziane's growing body of graphic novel cinema biographies. If you're a movie lover, you need to check these out, even if you're not the biggest Leone fan. I want to send a massive thank you to Titan Comics for sending this book over for review. These started as review copies for content for the channel, and now they take a prominent spot on my bookshelf. I've even bought copies for friends who are into movies. That's how good these are. The other books of these similar style bios are on Quentin Tarantino, Francis Ford Coppola, and Martin Scorsese. I'll link all of my reviews to those books in the description. Check out this video next for more from So Wizard Podcast.